Ma'am, from tomorrow onwards, so we will start the batch classes, ma'am. Please try to install the SAP S4 HANA and ECC server access if you have. Okay. Hello.
Yes, sir.
Ma'am, are you getting my points or not?
Uh, yeah, we are talking about the tomorrow class will start.
Yes.
Regular class will start tomorrow onward.
And if you have any access and all, okay, I mean like SAP S4 HANA access and ECC access, please try to install those things in your system.
Yeah, I'm having na as for Hana server.
Okay, okay, good.
That date you are providing the access or we are taking by
No, no,
own.
no. We will not going to provide any access. If you have access, so we will teach classes, I mean configuration classes in your system.
Okay, okay, definitely. Sir,
Yeah, give
sir.
me 1 minute. Time.
No, sir. Actually, my husband is calling in. He's in phone. Can I pick his phone?
Sorry, ma'am.
Actually, my husband is ringing. Can I pick his phone? My daughters are sleeping.
Ah, sure.
Yeah.
No issue, no issue.
Okay, sir. କ୍ଲାସରେ ବସିଛି ମୁଁ ପଛରେ କଥା ହଉଛି ତମ ଫୋନ୍ ଠିକ୍ ହେଲା ହଉ ଠିକ୍ ଅଛି ମୁଁ ରଖୁଛି ହ୍ୟାଲୋ
Ma'am.
yes sir
Give me 1 minute of time. Now I'm sharing this uh, as is document as you want. Okay, business blueprint documents and all, and as is business process and to be business process. You got my point, ma'am?
yes sir
Okay, ma'am, can you share your screen so that I can able to view your screen? Okay, good, ma'am. And then next one is you have asked it for the functional specification document.
yes sir
Okay. Yeah, ma'am. In the chart box, so you have got the accounts payables as is document and to be document business process.
both sir if possible both
Open the chat box, ma'am. Yes. And try to download this document, ma'am.
yes already downloaded
Okay. Open the document,
yes sir yes
as is business process.
Which one you want?
Can you come down, ma'am? Last one. So which I have sent the on this time only. Down, completely down.
Complete down.
This one, accounts payables. Open this. So this is the real-time document. Okay, from when it comes to my clients and all. And also, I'm sending the functional specification document, ma'am. And before we do the things with the functional specification documents and all, let me just try to understand these accounts payables, complete business process documents and all. Okay. So why it is showing like this? Hmm. Can Ma'am, this is the process definition document for the accounts payables when it comes to the vendor master records and all. Okay, so there will be a vendor master data included, and whatever the configurations that we do for the vendor master records and all, and how we can able to do the business process like as is business process and to be business process. So in as is business process, we do have the proper configuration structure and how we can able to map those structure into the SAP FICO systems. Okay, in SAP S/4HANA and also ECC. Now, there will be a business process. What is the business process? Now, we are discussing about the as-is business process. And that would give you the main functionality of the SAP S/4HANA. Okay, this is the SAP S/4HANA Greenfield implementations documents. Okay, so right now we have updated versions. Okay, SAP S/4HANA, and we do implementation in greenfield methodologies. Okay, so there will be some methodologies, as you know. You can, I mean, if you don't know about the methodologies and all, you can just try with the different types of searching engines. Okay, so the main important thing is that if you are dealing with the business transactions, okay, uh, for the particular vendor master records and all, how you can able to map the structure of the vendor master records. Here you can see in the system, there will be a accounting flowchart. Under this accounting flowchart, we have written the accounts payables. Under this accounts payables, uh, ma'am, I will ask you one doubt. So as you have practiced different types of configurations for the vendor master records in ECC, right? And what are the major concepts that you have done for the vendor master records? Do you know anything? If you know anything, just tell me.
Yes, sir. So
Huh.
for the
What are
vendor,
the things that you have done?
yes, sir. Sir, in
Hmm.
was in ECC or in S4HANA?
In ECC, SAP is for anything, ma'am. So, what are the major specification points that you have done, or major specification configurations that you have done for vendor master records?
Okay. I am trying to explain in both for in ECC and as well as in S4HANA. So please, in
Okay.
S4HANA, first in
Mhm.
ECC, I'll it's going to low my web.
Just plug in charger, ma'am. Your
Yeah.
battery
I'm
is low.
doing that. Yes, sir. Sir, in ECC, if you will go with ECC, then we first we have
Ma'am,
create
sorry for
some.
the disturbance. So there is a sound that is coming from your side.
What sound, sir?
There is some different types of sounds that is coming from your side. Okay, please try to correct.
What sound? I don't know. Sir. I can't hear any sound.
Okay, ma'am, you can go on.
Okay. Sir, फिर first we have create our vendor with the T code. Uh, what's that?
Hmm.
With that T code OBD3. Okay. Then we will giving the number range and
Those are
tolerance.
vendor groups.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Then
Hmm.
OBS we assign the number range. Then OBA3 we are giving the tolerance. Then in OBA7 also we configure our is KRKZ like that. And then we will
Hmm.
also assign in FS00 uh, as a
Hmm.
vendor. Then sundry creditor.
Okay.
Then we will also maintain
Okay.
our house bank. Main is the house bank.
Hmm.
Then I think this much.
Okay.
It's whether it's
The
our
main,
hmm,
yes, yes.
then
So whatever you are telling, that is 5% of the answers, okay, for the particular question and all.
okay.
The main important thing for this document is when I ask about the concepts of the vendor master records means, see, you have explained about the how to maintain the master records things in SAP system. Okay, so I have asked the question for the concepts of vendor master records only. Okay, so the main important thing for this, vendor master records concepts are, okay, just try to understand the point, ma'am. So you set up a global settings, okay, for the vendor master records, for the customer master records also. And after that, you will set up a payment terms configurations, mode of payments, and after that, you will set up a foreign currency revaluations. After that, you will set up a down payments configurations for vendors. And after that, you will set up a main GST configurations and withholding tax configurations. And after that, you will going to set up a asset accounting configurations, CO configurations, internal order configurations, data medium exchange configurations.
Hmm.
You will going to set up a lot of these concepts for the particular vendor master records. Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
So when I ask how to set up a vendor master data, so as you told the answer, that is the correct answer. Okay.
No,
So
I
if they
aware about all
ask
this.
anything,
Yeah, it's
no, no,
fine.
no, it's not a complete answer. So the whatever the things that you aware, okay, those things should be in a perfect way.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
so I mean, if you tell these answers to the interviewer, automatically what they will do? I mean,
Yes, sir.
they will come to one conclusion that you see, she doesn't even know anything on how to set up a concepts for the vendor master records and on, and how she can able to answer the client questions and on. Okay, definitely they will reject
Yeah,
your profile. That is the question only here.
yeah. Very good.
Okay, no issue.
Sir, pardon, my maid is knocking the door. Can I open?
Yes,
Sorry.
yes.
दोनों सो रहे हैं दोनों ही सो रहे हैं वो गधे दोनों ही सो रहे हैं बहुत मैं क्लास कर रही हूँ My neighbor's child babies. Okay. Hello.
Yeah, ma'am. Now it is fine, right?
Yeah.
Okay, good. So in the as is business process and all, you set up a vendor master records and you set up a business transactions with vendor with the PO, purchase orders without the PO. Okay. Some of the clients they use the purchase orders and some of the clients they don't use the purchase orders. You got my point? And
Yes.
also, when we buy the material from the vendor, so they will give the options like down payments. Okay. How we are explaining these down payments and also how they are giving, how we are getting the uh, proper installments amounts from the vendors. Okay. How we can pay. That is the main choice for the particular customer. Okay. And also vendor credit memos. Okay, if they give any discounts, okay, credit memo is not related to the particular discounts and all. Credit memo is all about the how you are managing the payments for the particular vendor.
Okay.
And in the credit memo, you will have the cash discounts and all. How you are maintaining the cash discounts. Okay, for these installments. Okay, for the down payments, there will be installments, right?
Hmm. Yes.
So if you, I mean, if you pay the amount for the particular vendor, uh, with the help of down payments and all, that in the down payments also there will be some installments. Okay, if you have the installments, how you can pay with the help of vendor credit memos, and also there will be some installments, right? Payment terms installments will be there. Okay, so if you do the installments based on the installments and all, how you are getting the cash discounts from the vendor also important. Okay, in as is documents and also real-time business processes. And after that, so from whom you are getting the material, is it related to the international vendor groups? I mean, the transaction is related to the international vendor. Is it related to the domestic vendor? I mean, the transaction is related to the domestic vendor. Is it related to the one-time account vendor group?
Wonderful. Yeah.
I mean, that is related to the one-time account vendor. See, all these groups that you maintain, as you said in transaction code OBD3. You got my point, no?
Yes, sir.
So there will be some accounting groups, domestic vendor, international vendor, and one-time vendor. How you are getting the materials, okay, from the vendor based on which group? Is it related to the international vendor group or domestic vendor group or one-time account vendor? Okay, yeah, as you know that there is a business partner. Who is business partner? Business partner is used to do some business transactions with customer as well as the organization, as well as the organizations and customers. Okay, so in the business partner concept, as you know, in transaction code BP, there is a transaction code BP. You will going to set up a vendor master record details. Okay, what is the reconciliation account? What is the terms of payments? And what is the uh, addresses? And what is the material management things? All you do in one transaction code, that is BP. Okay, but when it comes to the ECC, we use transaction code XK0 to set up the master record of the vendor.
Hmm.
You got my point, ma'am?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So the next point here is, can you open this thing, ma'am? Can you come down? Okay. So the main important thing here is the first thing here. Purchase order duly signed copy for each RM. RM means what, ma'am? Raw material maintenance, the or else plant maintenance. has to go to various factories on a daily basis. Okay, ma'am. So now you got a customer order, ma'am. So you are the organization, and you have to pass this material to the particular customer, right? So to pass this material to the particular customer, is it a daily basis or is it a weekly basis? For my client, it is a daily basis. You got my point, ma'am?
Sir, it's vendor, na?
Yes, it's a vendor. It's an organization. See, in the particular organization, we are the vendors and we are the customers. For the plant maintenance, we need to buy the material from the particular customer. Sorry, particular vendor, right?
Yeah,
So when you buy the raw material from the vendor and you make it as a finished goods, and that finished goods will be sent to the particular customer,
yeah.
that we can call it as a accounts receivables. And
Yeah.
we are the organizations, in the organizations, we are the vendors from the
Mm-hmm.
customer point of view.
Mm-hmm.
You got my point? From the vendor point of view, we are the customers.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
Okay,
got
then next step. Yes, okay, good. And stores person will forward. Okay, that means when the stores persons approved or disapproved, GRN, that is a goods registrations number along with the party bills challan and signed PO copy and truck way bill, etc. to corporate finance. So the main important thing is that when you get the raw material from the vendor, before we should enable the initializations of the product. What are those things, ma'am? There will be a store bills, there will be a truck bills, there will be a transportation bills, there will be a chalana bills, that is TDS chalanas, you know it very well, right?
yes, sir.
Withholding tax TDS.
We done.
Okay, all these things we set up for the stores persons will, okay.
Yes, sir.
Then after that, in your organization, there will be a MM people, ma'am. For the MM people, so they do material management, right?
Hmm.
When they do material management, corporate finance will take final approval from the corporate manager and controller and book the bill based on the hard copy of GRN, goods registration number. Okay, bill and QC approval report. So the main important thing is from the vendor side, okay, so there will be a different types of corporate managers, okay, who approves the request of the product cost. And after that, they build the things and all, and they can do these goods to the particular organization to make the finishing goods.
Okay.
Just understand the points from the organization, not from the vendor. Okay.
Yes,
So
sir.
when you understand the points from the organization, it will be the easy way to understand the accounts receivables things also.
Okay.
Then next step, if there is any discrepancy, okay, if there is any problem in quantity or rate, a format debit note will be prepared. Okay, so debit note definitely will be prepared, right? So when we send a amount to the particular vendor, is it a debit amount? Is it a credit amount to you? I mean, when it comes to the organization and all.
Sir, it's coming to us, then it's our credit amount. No.
No, no, no. When you send a amount to the particular vendor, is it a debit amount for you or is credit amount for you?
Yeah, obviously debit, no?
It's a debit amount, right? So
Yeah.
if there is any discrepancy, what we will do, ma'am? We will try to raise the debit note rising bills. Okay. And we need the money back, and your material is not at all good. Please try to take out the material or replace the material.
Replacement.
You got my point, ma'am?
Yes, sir.
And after that, see, all the HO, I mean, head of the finance head will recheck the things and all. And for the payments, there will be advanced payments against PO that we can call it as a down payments. Okay. Whatever the configurations that you have done in particular SAP FICOs and all, okay, all these things will coming into the picture. Okay, the thing is that, see, you have got the material, ma'am. Okay, you are the organization. Suppose Tata Motors are the organizations, or else Benz Corporation is the organization, and you are the CEO of the one car company, and you need to purchase the raw materials from the particular vendors, right?
Yes, sir.
And you cannot manufacture each and everything. I mean, each and every part of the car, right? Is it
Yes.
possible to manufacture each and every part?
No, sir.
It is not possible. Why? Because see, price may varies from one vendor to another vendor. So that is why you don't take any risk of the car parts, but you manufacture the car with the help of particular vendors. Okay, so they will produce the different types of car parts and all. Okay, and you will just get the material from them, and you align all these things. Okay, you align all these things, and you make a finished goods that we can call it as a one car. Okay, so to make the, you are getting the raw material from the vendor to make the payments. Okay, what is the payment structure? Okay, this payment structure is having the down payments or not? Is this payment structure is having the installment payments or not? Is this payment structure is having the cash discount or not? In interview, they will going to ask you the business partner payment procedures checks. You got my point, ma'am? So all these points are particularly related to the material management people and also CO people. And when it comes to the mode of payments, okay, business transactions, installment payments, things and all, FI consultant will take care of all these things. Are you getting my points, ma'am?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And after that, so end user, I mean, your organization end user wants to make some business transactions. Okay, if there is any problem regarding with period wise, regarding with the financial year wise, regarding with the physical year variant wise, regarding with the period wise and FI periods wise. So if you get any problem, I mean, if the end user gets any problem, what will happen, ma'am? Definitely.
Flow will stop or it's get error.
Yes. So there will be some global errors. Okay. The what is the global error here? The main important point is business transactions will be stopped.
Yeah.
When the business transactions are stopped, what will happen, ma'am? Is this ticket is related to the FI? They will raise the tickets, right? In ServiceNow tools, in Jira tools, or in Microsoft tools, whatever it may be. Okay, they will raise the ticket. So I mean, for this thing, we have stopped this business transactions and all. So can you recheck these things and test it, and then next inform these I mean testing things to the clients managers and all. Okay, organization managers and all end user managers. Okay, and after that you will check whether these periods are opened or not. Okay, you have done some global settings, right?
Yeah.
Okay, in that global settings, what you have faced, there will be a posting periods variance, right? You will open the periods, you will close the periods.
Mm-hmm.
When you open the periods, when you close the periods, what will happen, ma'am? So for the particular month, business transactions will be opened.
Mm.
Okay, in the next month, you cannot open the periods, right? Why?
No,
Because
sir.
we are following one financial year, that
Yeah.
is March to April, April to March.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so when these payments goes on, what will happen, ma'am, automatically? I mean, if they don't get any else successfully, they make the payment to the particular vendor with the help of these business transactions. And also, there will be some automatic payment program transaction entries. If they, I mean, if that organization has huge invoices, so they will maintain with automatic payment program. I mean, they will make the payment to the particular vendor with the help of automatic payment program. Okay, every time you cannot open the these transactions like F-53 transactions, F-28 transactions to make the payment to get the payment, right? Every time you cannot do. Okay,
No.
the main important thing is that we have one feature, that is automatic payment program. With the help of automatic payment program, when you make the invoice clearings and all to the particular vendor, there there is some file that will be generated in your system. What is the generated file, ma'am? Can you guess that file?
Sorry, I didn't get you. Can you repeat again the question? What software?
When you pay the amounts to the particular vendor
Yes, sir.
with the help of automatic payment program, there will be a one file which is generated in the SAP system. What is that file? You have done the configurations in ECC, right?
No, yeah. Yes, yes.
Okay, what is the file when you run the payments? I mean, when you make the payments to the particular vendor, what file will be generated in SAP system?
Proposal done. You are talking about proposal done and payment done.
No, 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 no. See, when you make the payments to the particular vendors and or there will be a one file which is DME file,
Okay, DM.
data medium exchange file.
Okay, DM file is generated. Okay.
No, DME file will
I
be generated.
okay. No, actually, my trader told me uh, there are two payment medium. One is data medium exchange hour, and then another one is classic payment method. And another one is
No,
data.
no, ma'am.
Yeah.
I think so. How you, I mean, yeah, how you have got the trainings and all,
Yeah.
really I
That's why
didn't
I'm
know.
answering. No, you are
Okay, the main important
okay.
thing is that when you run the invoices for the, I mean, when you make the payments for the particular vendor in particular automatic payment program, what will happen definitely? One file will be generated, right? And that file should be sent to the particular bank only. And after that, they will make the payments. I mean, they will transfer the amounts to the particular vendor with the help of house banks. Why you are creating the house banks in automatic payment program? Okay, you are giving the instructions to the particular bank. These are the payments that have been sent to your bank, and you need to clear this payment to the particular vendor.
Hmm. Yes, yes.
Are you getting my point, ma'am?
Yes, sir. Okay.
Okay, no issue. Can you come down? Please try to understand the concept of the business blueprint. Okay, when you understand this business concepts of the blueprint, what will happen? Okay, they will consider your profile as a real-time profile, not a fake profile. Okay, if you tell the business process of this as this business, sorry, client, okay, as this business process and to be business process, how we are handling the things. You got my point, ma'am?
Yes,
Okay, good, no issue. See, ma'am. Then the checks are either couriered or hand delivered or deposited in the various banks. Okay, so there will be a file generated, right? Either it is that is linked with the checks, or that is linked with any email, or that is linked with any couriers and on. So we will go to the bank and we will deposit this various banks accounts checks or exchange files or anything, okay, to make the payment to the vendor. So that is the final process of the vendor, ma'am. You finally you got a material. What you will do with that material? You will make a finished goods, right?
yes.
Then what will happen when you make the finished goods?
Process for outbound delivery.
Yes. So Not the outbound delivery. Finished goods are into a market. Okay. So you make a one car, ma'am. Okay. Definitely that car should go to this particular showrooms, right? So, and after that, they will sell the goods to the particular customers. So try to understand the point here. And if you don't know the real-time knowledge of the SAP FICOS for HANA and ECC, so you appear for any interview. Okay. If you appear for any interviews, definitely your profile will not be selected. Why? Because you don't know the process. If they don't know the process, if you don't know the process, how they can take you the profile? Okay, that is the another thing. And payment. Okay, so when you buy the raw material from the vendor, I have already told you, okay, in which days, okay, in which days you will going to make the payment. So is it a 7 days? Is it a 15 days? Is it a 30 days? Is it a 45 days? Is it a 60 days? Is it a 90 days? Okay, there is a payment terms, right? Have you configured the payment terms?
Yes, sir.
Okay, what you have done in the payment terms?
In OBB 8, we are define this payment. Some are predefined, and if we want to configure it according to our client's requirement, then we will, according to his conditions, we can also configure payment term.
No, no, ma'am. I'm asking about the payment terms that you have configured.
Okay,
Okay,
can
I will tell you.
I'm not
So
getting.
create terms of payment using transaction code OBB8, and you have to create the main important thing, that is create a cash discount receipt account. Okay, and assign these cash discounts to the particular vendors and all in transaction code OBXU, and assign payment terms in the vendor master records. And you will just raise the invoice posting, and after that you will just do the post outgoing payments for the vendor, and you just do the line item display. So this is the payment terms configurations.
Hmm.
You just need to say like this, ma'am. When I ask one question on the payment terms
Yes,
configurations and
sir.
all,
Yes.
okay. So okay,
Yeah.
no worries. Just try to understand the things and all. Okay, so no one can remember all these concepts, right?
No,
But
sir. No,
try
sir.
to tell 50% of the answer. Okay, they will try to convey with your answer. Okay, that is another thing, ma'am. Okay, then next mode of payment. My client, okay, is currently making payments manual with the two payment methods, which are checks or I mean RTGS and NEFT. You know it very well, right?
Yeah.
What do you mean by RTGS and NEFT?
Yes.
Okay, so my client is following two types of methods. One is RTGS and one is NEFT.
Yeah.
Okay, that Tulsian is currently booking the GRN, goods registrations numbers, in ERP and book the purchase invoices in tally systems. Okay, so vendors are using the tally systems. Our organizations are using the SAP system. Okay, and payment entries are passed in tally. Okay, their payments are passed in tally, and there is a tracking facility to see the document chain. Okay, when they see the document chain. Okay, but what are the tools that we use to transfer the data? That is IDOC.
I don't.
You are getting my points, ma'am?
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Sir,
good.
can I ask one question? I talk ALE and
Hmm.
RFC BAPI. Four
Yes,
are
mapping. So that is the technical things.
BAPI is used for technical.
Yes, technical.
Okay, and rest of three are used for this.
And the rest of the three are the functional things, IDOC and all.
Okay.
Okay, intermediary documents. See, ma'am, See, some of the clients, they use the intermediary document. Some of the clients, they don't use the intermediary document. Why? Because if the vendor is using the SAP system also, so then what is the use for the IDOC? There is no any use, right?
Okay.
Okay, that is another point we will discuss later. Okay, tax deducted at the source, TDS. Okay, so when you send the material or when you are getting the material from the vendor, and what is the tax DDS challan that they are giving? Okay, so that should be paid to the particular government of India, right? And government of America, government of Canada, government of London, anything. Okay, there will be a tax deductions process and all for the each and every material.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. See, why? Because when it comes to the taxing things and all, if you make some business transactions in a huge amount, okay, so you have to pay the tax, right, for the particular governments and all, right?
Yes.
So if you don't pay the amount to the government, what will happen? No? So income tax rights will happen.
Yeah.
Okay. That is the another choice of the any companies or any clients and all.
Sir, no, in SAP we are maintaining only the withhold tax, na?
Yes,
Okay.
we just maintain the rates and we just maintain the amounts of the particular withholding tax amounts. Okay, good. Another thing is that so for the vendor master records only we set up a TDS. Okay, for the customers also we do set up a TDS. Okay, that is another point of view. And for the main particular vendors only, we do maintain the configurations of the TDS withholding taxes.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
The next one is down payments to the vendors. Okay, when you buy the raw material from the vendor, as I have told you, so we do make some down payments, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, with the help of these down payments, I mean, you just pay the down payment to the particular vendor for the material, pre-booking materials.
Okay.
Okay, so for the particular materials, we do use the down payments clearance. Can you come down, ma'am? And after that, there will be a BP invoices. I mean, business partner invoices we will raise. That is, as per the legal requirement, TDS has to be deducted at the payment or invoice, whichever is earlier. You got my point, ma'am? So when you buy the material from the vendor, automatically they will raise the TDS challenge. So included the materials, I mean, including this TDS challenge. Okay, they will make some bill. So what is the bill? Including this TDS bill.
Okay.
Okay, then after that, what you will do? So down payment clean. I mean, after the raw materials are I mean, are approved with the delivery things and all. Okay, so they will just call you and this they will tell you that this material is ready and you can take out this material or else we will deliver this material to your plant.
Hmm.
Okay, and on that thing, you just need to make the payment. So before you make the payment, you need to clear this down payments, right?
Yes, sir.
So, and after that, what will happen, ma'am? So you will make total payment and you will get the material. Okay, then next step. Final settlements of the BP, as I have already told you. So we finally set the payments to the particular vendors through automatic payment program with the help of banks. Okay. And also journal vouchers. Okay, journal vouchers means it's nothing but the what, ma'am? An entry has to be posted in records. Okay, in organization, entry will be generated, right?
Hmm.
So when the entry is generated, what will happen, ma'am? So when it comes to the month ending provisions, okay, month ending activities or year ending activities, you will try to estimate the profit or you will try to estimate the loss that you, I mean, whatever the business transactions that you made. with the vendor.
Yes, sir.
Okay. There is no any points regarding with these things. And after that, there is a TDS certificate. Okay, updating external banking challenge in SAP. Okay, updating banking challenge in SAP means what, ma'am? See, you will just make the payments to the particular vendor with the help of automatic payment program. And after that, the DME files will be generated, or if you want to issue the checks, you can also use the checks. And after that, this all the checks will be sent to the particular bank, right? And they will make the payment. And after that, they will just make the challenge. We can call it as a main payments of the banks. Okay, updating external bank challenge in SAP. That means if they do the transactions with the vendors and all, one TDS certificate will be generated. Okay, see, if they make the payments, are automatically they will deduct some charges, right? So it is related to the bank charges, or else it is related to the uh, TDS challenge charges and all. Why? Because when they are maintaining the banks, so they can, I mean, they will also just pay the TDS amounts to the particular government also, right? If it is a private banks. So if it is a government bank, there is no any challenge. If it is a private bank, so they have to make the payments to the particular vendors. Sorry, for the particular governments. Okay. So TDS certificate. After making the TDS, I mean, after making the payments and all TDS payments successfully generated, and the challenge gets generated section wise. Okay. The next one is quarterly TDS returns. Okay, ma'am. Now you make some TDS payments to the particular vendors and I mean particular governments and all. Okay, for the vendors business transactions, and you have to return though half of the payment from the TDS. Okay, how you can get these things? So for the quarterly returns that we are filling currently, the working is manually prepared in the Excel formats. Okay, that is given as per the TDS softwares. That is fact software we use. So for each type of the TDS returns, and these sheets are validated in the softwares and then uploaded in the income tax department website. Okay. So, I mean, we are constructing these things and we are constructing these separate plans and all. So for this thing, so we are maintaining each and everything. So for that, you have to return some of the amount of the TDS. Are you getting my points or not, ma'am?
No, sir, getting sir.
Okay. So in the TDS certificates, tax deductions at the source. Okay. So with the PAN, we have to make the payments, right, ma'am? With the PAN only, you have to make the payments. Why? Because so now the government of India has regularized with the PAN payments and all, right?
Yeah.
So without PAN, you cannot do the much payment transactions like of after the 1 lakh or after the 2 lakh. You have to make the payments with the PAN, permanent account number. Okay, so we use the with PAN numbers to enable the payments for the particular government of India or to get the payments from the government of India.
Okay.
Okay, can you come down, ma'am? Okay, there is a bank reconciliation statement, ma'am. So, I mean, when you make the payments to the particular vendors at the end of the month, okay, what will happen, ma'am? You have to get the things right. What is the thing? That is statement. We can call it as a bank reconciliation statement. Whatever the business transactions we do. So this is completely as is business process for the vendor. Okay, ma'am. So
Yes.
you got some points, right? I think so.
Yeah,
When
yeah.
they ask about the as is business process, okay, so you have to tell like this. If you tell like this, automatically your profile will be selected in that company.
Yes,
Okay,
sir.
to be business process.
Yeah.
Okay, so to be business process means what, ma'am? How we can able to map those information like as is information into the SAP system if we don't have any gap analysis. Okay, this is the document things and BPH levels, that is business partner hierarchy levels and codes. Okay, SYX relevances and CGXP relevances. And if you go through these documents, you will going to have a lot of these things. Okay, whatever the things that I have explained to you on earlier basis and all, can you come down? Yes, all these things are there. Okay, can you come down, ma'am? Each and everything I have written in this document, distributions for review. Okay, distribution for review is another thing. Can you come down? Down. So these are the used
Yes,
symbols.
like this
Okay,
we have to use
so
no, for flow chart.
yes, yes. So definitions and abbreviations of the document go up. So there is a GUI, SAP GUI, that is graphical user interface. So from this thing only, you will going to map information into the SAP system.
Okay.
Are you getting my
Yeah,
points?
yes, sir.
So this is about the as is business process and to be business process. Ma'am, you know it very well. To be business process means you will start the configurations, that is
Configuration.
infrastructure, global settings, general ledger configurations, universal general ledger configurations, local currency configurations, group currency configurations, automatic payment program configurations, automatic payment program with the payment medium workbench, that we can call it as a data medium exchange files and all configurations. And after that, GST goods and service taxes configurations, withholding taxes configurations. And then next one is what we can say down payments configurations, down payments, installment configurations, payment terms configurations, and foreign currency revaluation configurations. See here in this document, have you observed the one point we haven't configured the foreign currency revaluation? Why? Because that vendor is particularly related to the domestic only. So that is why we haven't maintained any configurations for the vendor to the foreign currency revaluations.
Okay.
Okay, okay, that is the another thing. So in this thing, after that, what you will do, ma'am, is it related to the asset accounting and all? Yeah, I mean, for particularly SAP S for HANA, we use asset accounting, right? And after that, you will maintain the CO things, internal orders, and after that, you will maintain the data medium exchange file configurations and all. Okay, you do maintain a lot of configurations and you do maintain fields. Okay, how you are maintaining the fields in SAP systems are very, very important. Okay, so this is the way you have to explain as is business process to the client, I mean, or to the manager or to the interviewer or anything. And also to be business process means, so I mean, with the help of which method, so you are mapping this information into the SAP system. When it comes to the ECC, we use ASAP methodology. When it comes to that is methodology only. In versions, that is methodology. Okay. So in SAP S4HANA, we use LTMC methodology. So in the LTMC methodology, we use what automatically, ma'am? Yes, LTMC methodologies. In the LTMC methodologies, we configure the things. This is the way you have to explain as is business process and to be business process to the particular client. So in ASAP methodologies, you know it very well, ma'am. Project preparation will be that. Okay. In the project preparation, as is document will be generated or as is document will be created, okay, for the particular client. And after that, what will happen, ma'am? Blueprint phase. In the blueprint phase, you know it very well. Okay, as is a document will be prepared, and after that, you will going to map those information into the SAP system, and to be document will be generated. In the realization phase, what you will do? You will do basic configurations. You will do external configurations. And after that, what you will do? final preparation phases. You will just need to move the data from one server to the another server. Transporting of the data is another thing. Moving the data is another thing. Transporting of the data from non-SAP to the SAP system with the help of LSMW tools. Okay, LTMC tools. Okay, that is another point of view. I will go, I mean, after this class, I will going to share you the document of the LSMWs also. Just try to refer the things, okay? And after that, the main important thing here is, what we can say, ma'am, go live and
The
testing
support.
things. Okay. Okay. In the go live, end user is ready to make the business transactions. This is the way you have to explain these things to the interviewer, ma'am. So then I mean, your profile will be selected. I think so.
Very nice, sir. So nicely explained.
Yeah.
How much
So
I
do you
can
have any doubts, ma'am?
know,
Uh,
sir.
and okay, ma'am. I will just stop this recording. Okay, you will going to get this.